Honestly, this upgrade wasn't planned. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I just unboxed the iPad Pro M4 a few months ago. I was upgrading from my iPad Air 4, but a few life changes came my way, and that turned into me making another iPad jump, mainly for storage, but we won't get into that. The point of this video, before I part ways with my M4s, I wanted to do a quick side-by-side overview of the two, the iPad Pro M4 and the brand new M5. So this video is for anyone thinking about buying an iPad or maybe thinking of upgrading soon. So my M4 iPad Pro is the 13-inch black model with standard glass, 256 gigabytes of storage with Wi-Fi and cellular capabilities. My new iPad Pro M5 is also 13 inches, but this time I did go with the silver color and I bumped up the storage a bit to the 512 gigabytes. The M5 also has Wi-Fi and cellular capabilities, and I chose the standard glass as well with this version. When you put these side by side, they're practically identical twins. They have the same thin aluminum frame, same buttons and port, the exact same camera and speaker placement, and the same beautiful tandem OLED Ultra Retina display that Apple first introduced with the M4. The weight and feel are exactly the same as well, and I'm not upset about that. Since upgrading from iPad Air to iPad Pro, I've been obsessed with the design of the Pro series. It's sleek, solid, and feels professional in every way. Apple didn't change the color options this year either. It's still silver and space black. I just decided to switch things up a bit. I went with the silver this time because I wanted that clean, bright look, and honestly, it looks beautiful on camera. The Apple logo has this mirror-like finish that catches light perfectly. Don't get me wrong, I still struggle between the matte black or the space gray feel. It still feels so minimal and moody, but the silver definitely has more of that polished adult studio feel. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Now, there is a little bit of a subtle detail that Apple changed with this upgrade. If you look at the M4, there's small writing on the back that lets you know this iPad is an iPad Pro, and it'll show your IMEI and serial number. But on the M5, no iPad Pro label or specs are near the bottom anymore. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but I think I prefer it being there for some reason. I don't know. I guess I'll get used to it. But I will say it is nice. It's just a clean, smooth metal now, which does make it look more minimal and modern. I will say that. Day to day though, the shape, weight, and comfort are identical. If you picked them up blindfolded, you probably couldn't tell the difference. As far as performance, there are a few things that actually did change. The iPad Pro M5 is running on Apple's new 3nm chip, making it faster and more efficient overall. Every M5 model now has 12 gigabytes space of unified memory compared to the M4 space of 8 gigabytes. That is another big reason that I upgraded. I know it's probably not a big change for most, but for someone who really pushes their iPad and does a lot of multitasking, this is a big deal for me personally. And while I didn't get a ton of footage of me multitasking, you'll just have to take my word for it. I use my iPads constantly, from editing and planning to studying and designing. The M5 handles everything smoother. It's not a massive leap, but it's definitely more responsive and consistent, especially when you're switching between several heavy apps. Apple also improved the heat management, and that I find a tad noticeable as well. I noticed sometimes my M4 would warm up a bit after long work sessions, but the M5 stays cooler and performs more evenly. It still gets warm if I'm editing for hours, if I'm charging it while I'm editing, but nowhere near as before with the M4. Okay, with my use of the iPad Pro M4, the charging was already fast, but the M5 does step it up a bit, and this can be important if you use your iPad a lot or you do a lot of traveling. It now supports up to 40 watts fast charging when paired with Apple's newer adapter. It was definitely worth it. I use my iPad every day, and saving even 15 to 20 minutes of charge time adds up over the week. It just fits better with my daily workflow, and it's more convenient. Like I mentioned, both of these iPad Pros have Wi-Fi and cellular capabilities. Now, while that's not important for everyone, I'm I'm one that loves to have cellular connection on my iPad. It's also some upgrades with the Wi-Fi speeds as well. The M5 supports Wi-Fi 7, which just means faster and more stable internet, especially when you're in crowded or busy spaces, which means better upload and download speed, smoother streaming, and less lag. And if you're like me and you use cellular data on your iPad, you'll appreciate this next part. Apple updated the modem in the iPad Pro M5, and it holds a stronger signal, connects quicker, and uses less power when you're off Wi-Fi. I rely on cellular a lot when I'm away from home, and the battery can drain a lot more when you're using your cellular. I did notice a bit less of that with the M5. Now, I want to reiterate, if I handed these to someone who just checks emails and scrolls Pinterest, they'd probably feel the same. But for anyone who actually lives on their iPad, like I do, studying, creating, editing, and more, the M5 just feels tighter. Animations glide smoother, handwriting feels more crisp, and the pencil response is a bit snappier. If you are shopping for an iPad or looking to upgrade, Apple did keep the pricing and storage tiers exactly the same. Both start at 256 gigabytes and go all the way up to 2 gigabytes. It's the same lineup, just refined under the hood is the best way I could describe it. Another thing I love about the devices being totally similar or identical to each other as far as the build is all of my M4 accessories still work perfectly with my M5 Pro. So I won't have to make any changes or buy any extra cases or anything. I went a little overboard buying cases and accessories for my iPad M4, so I was definitely a bit worried when doing this upgrade, but finding out all of them fit the same, I was thrilled. I was also really thrilled not to have to purchase another Apple Pencil. That was a strain for me when I was upgrading from my iPad Air, but the M4 and M5 both use the Apple Pencil Pro 2, the Apple Pencil Pro, Magic Keyboard, screen protectors, everything still fits and connects seamlessly. So if you're upgrading, compatibility isn't something to worry about at all. So here's where I land. If you're a casual user, student, or you mainly use your iPad for note streaming or planning, stick with the M4. It's still a powerhouse. But if you're someone who really pushes your iPad with heavy content creation, video editing, multitasking, or you just want something a little more future-proof, the M5 is the smarter long-term choice. It's not a flashy upgrade, but it is a meaningful one. Cooler, faster, more efficient, and built for people who rely on their iPad all day, every day. Not a dramatic upgrade, but definitely a solid one. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and let me know down below if you're upgrading or staying with your M4. I'll be doing a more in-depth review of the M5 iPad Pro soon, so make sure you're subscribed for that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!